Let's talk about the crazy track Back Down and the original version.
Back Down. That record, that record right there is his traditional patterns of how to rob, your life's on the line, ghetto Quran, certain names is being mentioned, certain nerves is being pinched. That's that. That's his marketing tool. Fifth has a marketing tool within music. He knows how to make records that's gonna get you to talk, listen, and fuck with him. And that record, that was more of that wasn't the cool one like how to rob, like you could get over it. He's just joking. This one was like, oh, back down. He's going at him. Now, this is one of the ones that I don't know anyone else that did a record to it. Like Dre had records that other people do, Rakim or D12. This one, nah. This one was fresh. And we went to my crib, cut that. Fifth had no filter. Got to LA and played it. Dre would put the filter on. I'm like, hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. Nah, bro. You going too far, man. So we had to re-record that, man. You know what I'm saying? I still got the version where he's spazzing, man. He was black. That shit was black down. He was going black on that, blacking out, bro. Wilding on these motherfuckers. The shit he was saying, like, bro, you can't. What are you doing? Yo, come on, Nas is still on me. Like, him and Nas had that little thing back then. I'm happy they cool now. You know what I'm saying? And Nas said him on the new album. But him and Nas was real cool, man. So, but he wanted to take everybody, man. It's like you can't go after the God, bro. Everybody's getting it. Everybody's back the down, and that shit was really that shit was well received, man. That shit was hard as.
Next track, P.I.M.P.
I know what you heard about me. Yo, this is the first time I realized Denon Porter was a producer. And he did this beat with this other producer. I don't know where he was from. And when I heard this beat, I'm like, yo, this is different. What is that sound? And he's using some tropical calypso sounds and shit. I'm like, yo, what is that? They play that shit at Dre studio. Yo, Dre, I don't know, man. Their beat sounds so much bigger than when I was in my crib. It's the speakers or whatever, but the sonics, how they had it sounding. Denon was with Steve, Steve, what's Steve's this is an engineer that Dre has, Steve, and he was the engineer for all of the sessions where all the other producers were working with him, High Tech and them, and Denon was in there working with him. And when 50 went in that room, we cut that record where Tupac laid most of his album for Death Row. And that studio session, just that knowing that we was in a place where Tupac was at, and it was just us, and I was like, "Yo, Denon, you dope! Like you made this beat." It was like, "Yeah," and shortly after was Stunt 101 and more other stuff that he did. But me, I was like, "Yo, this is crazy," because Fifth didn't have no song that sounded like that sonically, nothing. And that record we knew was a hit after it was done instantly. And then let's not even get into the Snoop part. You know what I'm saying? Because Snoop heard that, and then it became like that's one of those records. As soon as you hear, I'm jumping. I need that. And in the video we went to Jamie Foxx house, shot the video. First mention I ever seen where we chilling, just hanging out there. Crib was crazy. Snoop was just chilling, and this is where we got to really bond with Snoop and DPG, and that's where DPG Unit came out, Dog Pound and G Unit, and I cut mad records with Snoop. I did, that's what I produced for Rhythm. What was that Snoop album that he came out with? I did Snoop Doggy Dog, Oh No, Rhythm and something album, Rhythm and Gangsta album that Snoop came out with. That was the bond, and that brought that. And then all of a sudden, me and Snoop became cool. He shouted me out on records, and Fifth brought all of that together. And that was like, yo, this is a legend. Snoop Dogg, man. Snoop Dogg. You can't top. We got Dre, now Snoop Dogg, and we chilling with Snoop. He's smoking like he was the one that you could really hang out with. Like you could hang out, he'll disappear. Like he'll pop up in the room. Like where did he come from? Like he was like a magician. Snoop, this was different because we like passing blunts and talking and laughing, and I'm like getting to really with him. So Snoop and the Dog Pound, Daz and them come through. With Daz, man. Daz had the beats too, but it just brought us to the West Coast and it made it all connect to us. That P.I.M.P record really made us West Coast big too. You know what I'm saying? The sound was just sonically amazing, man. Shout out to P.I.M.P. That was a dope one.
Like My Style with Tony Ayo.
I know you like my style. So now check it. This is me and my A&R game, right? I'm from Queens. One of the hottest producers coming out of Queens at that time is Rockwilder. And he from my hood, like, right? Him and Sage, I was the first one seeing him working on MPC, so I was inspired by them. But Rock was kind of like hard to get to and all of that. So I forgot who connected me to Rock. Probably Pat Viala. And I got on the phone with Rock, and I'm like, yo, I'm working on 50. And he was seeing what we was doing. And Rock was hot. So had his little, I'm hot. Like, so, but I was like, yo, but he received me, and he sent me that. And Fifth was like, yo, he wrote that song, and Yayo. He needed Yayo on that. I think that was like right before Yayo went to jail, yo. And he made sure Yayo was his man. You don't see nobody else. Buck is lucky he on the album, but Yayo, he made sure Yayo's on my album, man. He made sure. That was his boy. So that record, and Yayo did his thing, killed it. It was like, bro, you on now, bro. And then shortly after, Yayo went to jail. But that was the last piece of the part that we really needed, because he went right before the album came out, man. That shit was crazy. And like my style. And Pat, that's the only one of two that Dre didn't mix or M didn't mix, and they let us mix. And we recorded that record after the deal. One of the last records recorded on the album, and from outside. So normally they're like, all right, it's a Dre beat or an M beat, but like, nah, here, listen to this. So we sit in the room, and that's one of the 48s that even Dre and M couldn't resist. It was like, yeah, that could make it. That was one of the 48s that was like separately, but during the time, it was like, all right, we'll take that. And they approved it, and it was like, all right, that's one album.
The wild thing about that, like you said, he made sure Yayo was on it.
Mm-hmm.
The feature Yayo, all Yayo said was like a line.
Yeah, that's it.
You need some help?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he made sure that you could get that Yayo presence. He said, I need you to hear your voice on my album. Because Yayo was his hype man. Like, any show you see Fifth, he needed Yayo with him. Even before he got famous, Yayo was his hype man. So he always brought Yayo everywhere. And that's a bond you see to this day. And that's one thing I see. Like, I see that he got somebody that's still with to this day. And I like to see that.
If you want to see this full interview without having to wait, you can join our YouTube memberships program for just $8 a month. You get the full interview, behind the scenes footage, and no ads. If you want more, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/diverse mentality. And for $10 a month, you can not only get these full interviews immediately, but also get uncut and ad-free documentaries as well. The link is in the description for both. For those of you that don't know, this Shaw Money XL interview is from my 2023 Get Rich or Die Trying documentary, where I go around interviewing producers and engineers that worked on that album for the making of the process of that album. So check out that documentary in the description below.